Hello and welcome back to the Project Management PrepCast, where you realize your certification in project management. I'm your instructor, Cornelius Fichtner. In this lesson, we look at an overview of benefits realization management. We aim to enlighten you on what benefits realization management is and how it applies to the organization. In addition, we describe the process of curating ideas, identifying their benefits, ensuring that they are achieved, and sustaining their value. We also explore infrastructural models for implementing benefits realization management in your organization. This lesson shows you how to track the real benefits of your project to your organization. Benefits analysis and realization is a relatively new field, so we are making this a two-part lesson to properly cover the topic and give you the best opportunity to realize the most benefit. In part one, we talk about defining benefits realization management and the first steps in that task, which is identifying benefits. In part two, we learn about achieving and sustaining benefits and ways to implement an infrastructure to support benefits realization. So, without further delay, it is time to get a taste and find out more about what benefits realization means and why we should care about it. The main concept that you should know is that by proactively managing benefits, an organization can facilitate more thorough identification and quantification of benefits from the ideas of its employees. The benefits of benefits management include higher rates of adoption of the project's product, service, or result by the end user, which provides a faster return on the organization's investment in its project portfolio and therefore leads to effective use of its invested capital. This is at the core of why companies run projects. It is their lifeblood. Before we dive into the world of benefits realization, it might be helpful to use an example of how benefits are gained and how complex the process can be. Assume we are in a company designing, manufacturing, and selling cellular phones. Sales have stayed flat for the last 5 years, and the corporate planning cycle identifies increasing sales as the highest priority issue for the company. They develop a new initiative to increase sales. As you might expect, it is not as simple as changing only one thing. Product design needs to change. The required adoption necessitates new applications to be developed. Sales associates need to have new techniques to work with customers, and a new website must be developed. They foresee that benefits will be gained over time. For example, some are to be realized when the new cell phone product line is launched at the end of the project. Providing additional products such as add-ons and accessories and upgrade models is intended to boost sales over the coming years. 4 projects are proposed to make this happen. Each has a set of goals to deliver benefits at various times. First, the project of the new cell phone product line is expected to deliver 2 main benefits. The first and obvious is for the new product line to take the industry by storm by enticing new customers. The hope is that this product line can net millions for the company. However, marketing also anticipates that by doing market research correctly and offering a great upgrade plan for the current models, they can increase sales of the current models as well. This provides some mid-project benefits. Since the software team is less optimistic and feels it would contribute to sales only after the new product is released, a second is created to push in-app purchases and thereby increasing revenue further. They entertained the idea of making the apps available on the older platforms, but that would increase risk and decrease the desire to move to the new models. Third, the sales team sees it as urgent to hold training on sales techniques, especially for new associates. Training should start as soon as new courses can be developed. When the new product is released, additional refresher courses can be conducted. Over time, the sales team can so improve its sales techniques. Fourth, the team determines that the website needs a complete overhaul. And although this might have a small impact on sales only, it is crucial for the new product sales. Looking at these benefits over the lifetime of the initiative, we can see that they are realized at various times. During the project, the new product development team thinks that the hype over the new phones would increase sales, and the sales training team thinks that training would also increase current sales. When the project is delivered, there are benefits from the new phone, but also the new apps with in-app purchases. This is followed by the big benefits as the project outcomes are moved into operations for sustaining. Operations would upgrade customers to new models of the phone, add accessories, and new sales techniques would improve sales as well. In this example, I am sure that you might be able to come up with some other groups to get involved and more benefits that could be realized. For instance, there are possible benefits in special phone contracts, marketing campaigns, and the like. This matrix could get far more complex and hard to track. Most importantly, you can see the need for tracking benefits and why it must be addressed. About 150 years ago, American writer and humorist Mark Twain said, "A person with a new idea is a crank until the idea succeeds." At the core of this statement is benefits realization. The world often completely overlooks the benefit of an idea until the benefit is realized and the person who came up with the idea is labeled a genius. Whether it is you or the wingnut down the street, realizing benefits is the sole measure of an idea's success. Benefits realization is nothing new. For tens of thousands of years, people have come up with new ideas, justified them to themselves or others, and strove to make the idea a reality. Whether it is the concept of using a spear for hunting, the earth being round, or indoor toilets, or Facebook, benefits realization is at the center of every new idea. However, the task of clearly stating the benefits, selling them, and making sure that you deliver them is usually the missing link that drops many new ideas into oblivion. Surprisingly, there has been relatively little formal or academic work done in benefits realization until after the turn of the 21st century. One of the organizations that stepped up to fill the void was the Project Management Institute. In 2016, they published several commissioned studies on benefits realization management. They worked with numerous organizations to show the effects of poor linkage between business strategy and projects, including highlighting some of the key weaknesses. Their data uncovered many facts showing the importance of benefits management. One statistic may drive the point home as to the value of a formal process. This is the fact that companies having mature benefits realization management capabilities are 1.6 times more likely to meet project objectives and 3 times more likely to meet or exceed their target return on investment. Now that's a benefit. To understand how benefits realization management, also known as BRM, can support that type of success, it is best to start at the foundation. We begin with the rather long definition that PMI has developed for benefits realization management. It is a collective set of processes and practices for identifying benefits and aligning them with formal strategy, ensuring benefits are realized as project implementation progresses and finishes, and that the benefits are sustainable and sustained after project implementation is complete. So we see that benefits realization management is about first identifying the benefits that you align with strategy. Then, in addition to identifying benefits, benefits realization management also encompasses ensuring our projects execute to realize those benefits and enabling practices that sustain those benefits. And by this definition, sustaining those benefits and the process of benefits realization management may outlive the project itself. It might be better to put a picture to the terms used in the definition to help you remember what they are. First is identify, where you ensure that the business case explicitly defines the benefits of ideas and decomposes the benefits down into the supporting programs and projects that achieve those benefits. Second is execute, the process of establishing the mindset, processes and procedures within the project execution teams to maintain focus on supporting benefits and notifying others when projects stray from that target. And lastly, sustain. That's the ability to further the benefit mindset throughout the organization, to sustain benefits in achieving strategic objectives. This simple model helps us understand and remember how to achieve better project results. And as with nearly anything, you need to start with a plan. In this case, a benefits realization plan. PMI's framework defines this plan as a document outlining the activities necessary for achieving the planned benefits. It identifies a timeline and the tools and resources necessary to ensure the benefits are fully realized over time. And this is the moment when we want to point out to you that although PMI has several papers on their website on benefits realization frameworks, the PMBOK Guide glossary itself does not include the benefits realization plan. The PMBOK Guide does explicitly talk about benefits realization and the benefits realization plan in terms of project integration management. In particular, it stresses that a project manager should align the project deliverable due dates, the project lifecycle, and what you intend to do in terms of realizing benefits as documented in the benefits realization plan. So your work as a project manager is not limited to managing the interrelationships of the different project management processes. But to be a successful project manager, you must also ensure the alignment of achieving and realizing the benefits. You may also have noticed that what the PMBOK Guide and its glossary describe is not the benefits realization plan, but instead the benefits management plan. This is the documented explanation defining the processes for creating, maximizing, and sustaining the benefits provided by a project or program. As you can see, there is overlap between the benefits realization plan and the benefits management plan. An important distinction is that the benefits management plan hones in on the specific benefits provided by a project or program. For this lesson, we opted to focus on the framework as described by PMI outside of the PMBOK Guide. So with that, we call your attention back to the benefits realization plan. And here we are. The benefits realization plan must define a series of items. It may seem obvious that a benefits realization plan identifies the benefits, but this is often the first fatal mistake of the organization. Companies too often overlook enumerating the tangible and intangible short and long-term benefits of an initiative. It may have tangible short-term items, but miss other items and skip valuable benefits. People make assumptions, often false, about how an initiative's outcomes are developed and implemented, or omit some assumptions altogether. Both can be deadly in achieving a return on investment. Documenting them creates awareness of the assumptions and better validation and mitigation if they prove wrong. One common assumption is that benefits have no interdependencies. Our project and the benefits are part of a large, complex system that relies on and affects other benefits, sometimes in unexpected ways. Known interdependencies must be documented and unforeseen dependencies captured when they occur. The plan also defines the processes and procedures to measure both quantitatively and qualitatively the progress in achieving a benefits goal, as well as identifying what roles have responsibilities required to manage benefits and who is accountable for achieving them. But that's not all the plan should include. In addition, it is important that the benefits realization plan also contains information on how to transition the benefits to an operational state. Operations is about consistency, maybe producing the same widget time and again. If a project creates a benefit and that benefit is not adopted, the entire investment is lost. Therefore, a complete transition and adoption plan needs to be part of each project based on the guidelines and parameters described in the benefits realization plan. Perhaps you have seen changes that are put in place last for only a few months, weeks, or even days. Well, few, if any, benefits changes are self-sustaining. So no benefits realization plan is complete without defining how to sustain the plan. Benefits usually outlive projects, and the benefits realization plan needs to be able to establish how to assess for success in how well a benefit's actual value is met. It could be far greater or far below expectations. By documenting these items, the benefits realization plan provides a tool for communication and a better chance of achieving strategic corporate goals. As they say, it all starts at the beginning. That first step at times can be the most difficult, though. Identifying benefits is such a foundational step. It is hard to believe how frequently it is overlooked and how rarely these items are documented. You may uncover other benefits as you explore an idea. Hopefully, some of its unintended consequences can also be uncovered and averted. Writing down benefits may make it seem more concrete. At times, this may cause you to hesitate. You may not want to commit and promise that you can deliver these benefits. As you write them down, you may see other flaws and challenges in achieving them. Remember, you are not alone in achieving these benefits. Your stakeholders must adopt and sustain your wonderful work. Which brings us to another often neglected point in a project, and that is that all projects deliver change. With change comes the need for change management. By documenting benefits, you create the platform for establishing urgency, identifying the right people, and creating a vision for the future that delivers the greatest benefit. Identifying benefits is also the first step in ensuring that the benefits are aligned with corporate goals and that projects are focused on the correct benefits. This is truly the foundation of benefits management. Identifying and measuring organizational and project benefits are not just one-time activities either. Sometimes adjustments are necessary. The project benefits that made sense at the beginning of the project may no longer apply. You need to continually ensure that as the business environment shifts, that our project's goals account for that drift and that our integrated change control processes incorporate benefits validation. Project benefits analysis is a useful technique for making decisions systematically. By breaking up the goals of a project into pieces so you can examine them individually, you can more easily see the bigger picture of the project. Benefits analysis compares criteria to measure the effectiveness of a solution of a project. Benefits analysis is also helpful in refining project vision statements for projects that bring value to the organization. Ideas can come from anyone in the organization. The process is perennial, but most organizations have an annual process for consolidating and selecting ideas that are most beneficial. In that process, business cases are reviewed and the goals and benefits are analyzed with respect to how they fit with what all stakeholders hope to achieve. This process should use established common language and templates, often organization-specific for describing business value and benefits. It provides everyone, including the eventual project team, with a consistent objective vocabulary. This is usually referred to as establishing a common understanding. This process must also establish a benefit owner. This person is accountable for benefits realization and any major decisions. Moreover, the process identifies someone or some group that maintains a system for how benefits should be captured, tracked, organized, and interdependencies identified. This is eventually used to identify which projects deliver specific components to provide a given benefit. Finally, the team brainstorms and gathers reactions, business impact, satisfaction goals, application or system implementation goals, and returns on investment, as well as any other types of benefits that might become apparent. There are many advantages to be gained by an organization with an effective process that proactively identifies benefits and tracks achievements versus the plan. Since there are a variety of benefits, types and categories, it should be no surprise that there is also a range of benefit analysis techniques. Here are just a few for you. As financial benefits is the most commonly sought after benefit, it is not surprising that there is a large set of financial analysis tools that are used. These include benefit cost analysis, payback period calculations, return on investment, internal rates of return, benefit cost ratio, and so on. A common analysis tool is the SWOT analysis. The SWOT is an acronym developed for what the technique does, that it identifies strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats regarding an idea and is usually part of a business case. It uses internal organizational factors as well as external factors to assess benefits. There are times when a benefit is quite intriguing, but there are lingering concerns about the organization's ability to create the benefit, or that a required technology is not robust enough to support the benefit. In those cases, a feasibility study can be used to analyze our ability to complete a project successfully. Such a feasibility study can consider legal, economic, technological, scheduling and various other factors before committing the organization to a full project. Feasibility studies themselves are projects that investigate the possible negative and positive outcomes of a project before investing too much time, money or resources. Once the benefits are understood and the key items selected, the first part of planning is complete. At this point, the benefits are grouped together for tracking in logical units. Most companies refer to these as initiatives or strategic initiatives, which are then broken down into programs and projects for execution and delivery. Once the final set of initiatives are identified, a high-level timeline for realizing benefits is established. This timeline drives the sequence of project launches, and it is often based on three concepts. The first is the priorities of the benefits being delivered. This is established using factors that are specific to the company at the time. Next, the initiatives are sequenced based on their dependencies, followed by an assessment of the organization's capabilities and the projected durations of the initiatives. Usually, companies limit the number of initiatives they try to execute to between 3 and 5 at any given time. Some organizations try to run more, but their success rates dwindle. Depending on the frequency and the complexity of the project's deliverables, the coinciding frequency of monitoring and reporting has to be determined. Monitoring and reporting steps check on the value of the project with respect to delivery and changes in the business. It is important to understand that value may be delivered throughout the duration of the project and especially after the project closes. In many cases, a project is considered to be complete when the deliverables are complete. The process of benefits realization, however, goes beyond deliverables and determines whether the project fulfilled its intended outcomes. The plan must accommodate this. You didn't think that realizing project benefits was a one-time thing now, did you? Which brings me to my next point. We must always be aware that as project managers, our view is often too project-centric. Even though projects differ in their nature and purpose, there are some general benefits realization guidelines that apply to all projects. The benefits of a project must be clearly articulated in terms of organization-centric values. If not, no matter how successful your team is at delivering the defined scope on time and within budget, the project may completely miss the customer's primary benefit. This is of consequence because stakeholders are not as concerned about output as they are about the outcome. The time frame to achieve outcomes must also be established and, during execution, achieved. You should work with stakeholders and agree on whether benefits are realized throughout the project, immediately on project completion, or at some time in the future after the project team members have gone their separate ways. Defining a benefit owner is also key to ensuring business value and that the project stays aligned with the corporate goals. If a benefit owner has not been defined by the time your project is started, you need to raise this as an issue and get one assigned. Benefit owners are our final escalation point in resolving issues. They need to make numerous major decisions as our project runs into challenges during execution. This is key information that not only needs to be maintained in the benefits realization plan, but also should be reflected in the project charter. The benefits realization plan probably describes these items in organizational terms, while the project charter for each project supports those loftier goals and defines how each project contributes to them. Timelines for benefits realization are organization specific, with a set time frame defined for realizing the benefits and explicitly identifying an owner to see that the benefits are realized. Now you may be thinking, this is all great, but I'm just a project manager and I'm not at a level where I can make a benefits realization plan. This is true to a point. You probably can't make a benefits realization plan for the organization, but you can for your project. Some organizations have trouble with the concept of benefits realization. Therefore, all this work may not have been done for you. You may need to do it at the project level. All the actions described here still need to be done for your project and captured in the project charter. This is critical for success as it sets expectations for the stakeholders and guides integrated change control activities. If components of the benefits realization management plan are missing from the organization change management being a common gap, it can be noted as a risk in the charter. It is critical that you identify a benefit owner. This could be your executive sponsor or a customer executive. However, it is imperative that you have an executive that is accountable for the delivery of the benefits, that can make decisions about how the benefits look. It's an appropriate time to take a break and reflect on a project maybe that you have recently been involved with and determine what pieces, if any, are missing. Before we go though, here are some takeaways from part 1 of this lesson. Benefits realization management is not done well in many organizations. However, when it is done properly, the payback is huge and results in a better return on your investment. Having a benefits realization plan, even if just for your project, is valuable. In some cases, it can be covered in a project charter. There are 3 steps in benefits realization management. Those are identifying benefits, executing to the benefits plan, and sustaining the benefits. And that's it for part 1 here on benefits realization management. See you in part 2. Until next time.